Was I muted? Am I muted? Oh dear. Can you hear me? Let me check. Okay. Okay. I hope I've not been muted this whole time. Oh God. Oh no. Right. Okay. Well, welcome to Final Fantasy 1. That meant all my bloody explanations about the jobs. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Penny. Hey, Craig. Hey, Infinity. Welcome on in. Well, I mean, I guess there'll be plenty of time because we're going to do some leveling up. I was just going to say, you can't actually buy Phoenix Downs here. This place is where you go to revive. If your characters that get knocked out, you've got to go here to get them revived. In this version, you can actually buy Phoenix Downs, but in the original version, in the NES version, you couldn't, but you can in this version, thankfully. So that's another way to get your characters revived. Inns, heal up your characters. This is weapon and armor. These are where you buy your spells. You saw that I bought a couple of spells. So let's go level up. Alright, so I want to get to level 5. So we'll have a bit of a wander round. I didn't even equip bloody characters, did I? Oopsie doodle. And that's okay. Yeah, this is the Pixel Remaster Infinity. Yeah, the music is really good. We've got this. Got some chainmail. Yeah, I'll just explain, I guess, my... so I went for the White Mage, Black Mage, Warrior, and... I don't think I got any armor, did I? Yeah, I went for this setup because I think it's fairly balanced. I'll explain the different classes and stuff, but the ones that I left out, the Monk is actually the strongest in terms of power, and they're quite cheap to maintain because you don't need to buy any weapons. They actually do more damage just with their bare hands than with weapons. So they're quite a cheap, efficient character class to have in your party. And you can also get red mages, which can use both white-black magic, and they can also equip a variety of weapons and armor as well. So they're sort of your jack of all trades. So yeah, you might want to have those two in your party. We've gone for the warrior. Now they're quite expensive to maintain because they can equip the most weapons and armor, but that also means that you have to spend quite a bit to sort of keep them up to scratch, I guess. But they are going to be your strongest. We've got the high HP, and he has Greg's legs. Yeah, he's got the Greg's legs, and yeah, they're pretty good to have in your party. The Thief is the fastest, so that means they'll get more turns. They've got higher luck stat. They can evade attacks a little more frequently than, say, your warrior. They're not as strong as a warrior. They don't have as high HP as a warrior. But again, if you want sort of high agility, and the reason why speed is good is because the higher the speed, the more hits you get in, and the more hits gets you more damage. So that's quite a good one to have in. But again, they do have quite weak magic defense, and again, like they've also got low HP. The white mage is obviously your healer. They're not going to be doing much attacking throughout the game. I mean, they're attacking now, but yeah, as you get further on, their main focus is just going to be defense and healing. And hey, Alexa, how's it going? So why is Black Mage not named Vivi? I was actually thinking of, with regards to the names Infinity, I was going to do a poll, but I just didn't get a chance. And I was going to name them after Final Fantasy characters, like calling the Thief Zidane and Vivi and maybe Garnet and I don't know, Little Warrior, Amaranth or something. Steiner maybe. But I decided to go for the character, to name the characters after the characters in Strangers of Paradise. Do you know the Final Fantasy 1 prequel? Because there's no like official names for them, so we can call them whatever really. So yeah, that's that. I am just getting to level 5, so I am just sort of actually maybe we can venture off a little bit further. Yeah, have you played that Strangers in Paradise? I've not played it myself, but yeah, so the white mage, just to go back about explaining classes, they have the highest MP, they've got the healing potential, they're quite cheap to maintain as well. I guess that the disadvantages are low strength and defense, quite low evasion. And the black mage, they've got high evasion, and magic power is high. And they've also got sort of some offensive capabilities. Okay, I'll try not to get lost on the map. Like you can equip them with cat claws, and of course they've got the offensive magic capabilities, so I might just use a black magic attack to show that off. So yeah, they're going to be sort of your offensive magic dealers, magic damage dealers. Disadvantages are they have the lowest HP, they've got quite limited equipment pool, and there can be some variance in the spell powers as well. I don't want to try and venture too far because the problem is if I get injured, then it's going to be some way to trek back to Cornelia to heal. I don't know how you miss a flea. Oh, there you go. So yeah, this game does really dump you in the middle of nowhere, but I think it's fairly straightforward with what you need to do, and it's quite guided in a way. There you go, that mage. So its lack of offensive capabilities. Oh god. I guess we'll flee. Just to try and keep the HP on point. Oh no. This will be an embarrassing way to end. Okay. Of course, I guess I can show off the church. Got more than enough offensive capabilities. I never offend anybody. Okay. So, I've not actually used a church for 40 gil. Shit. Yeah, no problem, Finny. Enjoy the lurks. And hey, Jasmine, thanks for the resub. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, but the music's really good in this game. Guess we'll heal up as well whilst we're at it. Yeah, if you're not following Jasm, he's doing some Persona 5. Characters. Well, in my test playthrough, I guess I was being a bit more careful. But yeah, we'll probably be quite a bit of leveling up. I'm hoping for the next stream I'll do some of this off stream prior to the stream, but you know, I feel like this is a core part of the Final Fantasy experience, right? What else was I gonna say? Yeah, we'll sort of be. Oh, I guess I should say as well. There's no like character roles in this game, not like Final Fantasy. I think FF2 has back and front though, or certainly FF4. But depending on your character's position, does depend on the percentage of them getting hit. So the character at the top, the warrior at the moment, Jack, he's got a 50% chance of getting hit. The thief, the person in the second position, has a 25% chance of getting hit. And then the characters in the third and fourth position, in this case the white mage and the black mage, they've got a 12.5% chance to get hit, respectively. Not sure slagging people off is a core part of the experience. I'll try not to slag people off then. That's right. Yeah, you run away. Well, I guess running away is pretty bad for us in terms of wanting to get those levels. Means you've got a 6.25% chance of being polite. I'm always polite. Always. Sir. Hey, awesome. Let's level up number 4. We'll do one more. Said no one ever. Well, I said it. So, I think you stand corrected. Okay. We've just got the, what's it from Father Ted in my head now, doing the horse song. I think these should give us a nice chunk of experience. Nice, the crit. You run away from me, horsey. You've got a what's it? Well, I don't have a what's it, I'm afraid. That's 20. Okay, so those horses are pretty good. So we'll head back to the town just to, I guess, get some safe experience. Again, this is something that I think going to the next place at level 2, level 3 will be more than sufficient. The core part for me is to make it quite a smooth experience, also to cut down on item usage, and later on we're gonna be well, I sort of like to buy quite a lot of the equipment as soon as it becomes available. And that can be quite expensive, so there's also the guild aspect that we're getting quite a lot of money from it. But yeah, it's probably such a thing as overdoing it and perhaps false advertising. I'm sorry. I'll be true in my advertisement in future. Hey, awesome. Shame this was the final game. Looks alright. Hey, Cricken. How's it going? Hope you're doing good today. Yeah, in fact, the next area that we're going to go to. Okay, awesome. Let's go back, heal up, and get some stuff. Good to hear. Yeah, hope Fatal Fame's going well too. Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. I actually did a bit of Axiom Verge off stream, just to get the flamethrower weapon. And I did record it, and I actually uploaded it to YouTube, just so there's no sort of disparity or disparation if anybody was watching it for whatever reason. And it's quite funny actually, because I didn't know whether football was on or not. So yeah, I ended up getting a call. And I was just about 2/3 of the way done with what I wanted to do. It's like, oh, I'm outside your house. It's like, oh, bloody hell. Yeah, new to the Pixel Remaster as compared to the NES game. I'm not sure whether it's on the PS1 game, but it's certainly on the GBA and PSP. But you can actually buy ethers, and as I mentioned before, Phoenix Downs, and these weren't available in the originals. Yeah, they will help out a lot because I think it's worth saving. That's the old testy run. Yeah, I was going to try and change the font because apparently it's pretty easy, but I couldn't find the file location. That's okay. I mean, to be honest, it's not been as horrific as I was expecting. And there's a thief missing. Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, I sort of want to make sure that there's no overflow of a text either. And speaking of good music, this tune is really nice. I think it adds a bit on from the SNES. Oh, you can press square on the PS controller to bring up the map, and that's quite useful. These two rooms on the right are locked at the moment. The central room is where we want to go. So we get the items from the left rooms. Now, having Dire is pretty good here. Yeah, I won't use my MP up. Just in case I want. Yeah, there's a little instrumentation in a bit that sounds really good. Yeah, they've actually added in the boss themes as well, which wasn't in the original NES game. I think that's added in maybe the PlayStation version. But that's pretty nice. Yeah, because I could stand corrected on this, but I believe Final Fantasy 1, like going off the original, I think FF1 had one battle theme, FF2 had 2 battle themes, FF3 had 3 battle themes, FF4 had 4 battle themes, and 5 had 5 battle themes. I could be that could just be a. But I know FF1 just had the 1. I think 2 had the battle theme and the boss theme. I think 3 had battle theme, boss theme, final boss theme. 4 had battle theme, boss theme, battle with the 4 themes, and the final battle theme. Again, perhaps I'm mistaken on this, but and Earthbound had 95,552. Okay. I think we'll make our way to face Garland. Maybe get knocked down a little bit. Yeah, it's just a Ash letting us down. Nice preemptive strike. Again, I'm not too fussed about getting into quite a few battles here because I think it'll help out. Yeah, the map system's really good. And you might be thinking, well, how do you know which rooms have chests in? But if you go into any room, I was hoping to show off there. I do want to get rid of these werewolves as soon as possible, because those werewolves can poison. This might be where we start using potions. I think she can cure herself. This might be a bit tense. Is that werewolf still alive, man? Okay, well. Yeah. So I think that front one should hopefully go. It's been a pretty rough encounter. Okay, nice. Yeah, absolutely. I know. Because I think in the original, the Thief was the hardest one to do a solo run of. I think in this version, I'm not too sure. Possibly, might still be the Thief or Black Mage. I guess might be a tough one. Okay. Oh, quite a tough fight. We got through it. A little bit poisoned. Let's cure that up. Again, normally I'm pretty stingy with using items, but I guess I needn't have used that last potion. But why not? Okay. So yeah, if you go into any room and then press square, this sort of shows you the other sort of insides of the rooms. So that's pretty cool. Hey, Card, how's it going? God, the FIFA link on GPA. No, that's a good shout. As I say, I've named him after the characters from Strangers of Paradise. Yeah, I mean, I've done a test run of the game, Jasm, so I've got where I want to go and what levels I want. But yeah, it's been pretty good in terms of making notes. How's it going, Eckhard? How's it going, Bad Taste Bear? Welcome in. Let's get knocked down. I get knocked down. Okay, so this guy is actually susceptible to sleep. Let's let's have a defend. Yeah, I think the best bet is just to use fire, really. It's got 212 HP. And we'll just cure whoever needs curing. My Garland will knock you all down. Yeah, it's quite an iconic line, right? I think in the PS1 version they changed the line, but they brought it back for the PSP version. Again, I still think that the PSP version would be the... Shit, don't know why I attacked with the Black Mage. Would be the one to play because the graphic style is really good, really nice, and it's got all the bonus content in. But hello. I sort of, if this was a musical, I imagine this is where Battle of Hell would be playing. Come to rescue you, come to fight you. Okay. Well, sure we'll never ever see Garland again. Hey Ash, how's it going? Hope you're doing well today. Ash, you have made a cameo in the game, in a way, as a black mage. So, when darkness fails the world, the full warriors of light shall come. If it cannot gather the shards of light, the darkness will consume all. Whoa. Four crystals will never shine again. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just spoil you right now and let you know that we won't be restoring any crystals this stream. Oh, I did mention it, but I might have been muted at the time, but these statues are little chocobos. So, of course, chocobos didn't make their debut until FF2. But, yeah, they've managed to fit them in a little cameo. Yeah, if you talk to her, she gives you the loot. Yeah, we'll find out what that does a lot later. There's that bastard Chancellor. Okay, whatever. Sarah's thoughts, what about your thoughts? Okay, yeah, you defend that castle. But I guess we can speak to the Queen, and I can think of a few ways. I'll give him a go. Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks, Ash. Been pretty chill. Did some football today, which was got me out of the house a bit. Did a bit of off-stream stuff on Axiom Verge. Our ancestors sealed weapons within this treasure room 400 years ago. They then gave a key to the Elf King. It's a bit stupid. But yeah, we can't get into these doors until we get the Mystic Key. Again, that's the same with the doors up in the Chaos Shrine. I've got to say, there's something oddly satisfying about this bridge building. Yeah, how are you doing, Ash? It's like audio ASMR. These guys, this is a bitch building monkey in Link's Awakening. and then see them all lining up in double file. It's quite visually satisfying. Just being on Bloodborne all day. Nice. I know you're going to be streaming that in 20 minutes, right? So, yeah, hope you enjoy that, man. Okay. So, we will... oh, we've already mainly healed. Just thinking whether I want to go to the inn first, but... okay, so I do want to show off something in the Chaos Shrine. Again, the reason I'm doing this is sort of twofold. We'll get a little bit more experience and a bit more gil. Get stage fright, sorry. You got enough for Dire. Nice. Well, I guess actually if I've been attacking him, might save Dire if there's like 9 enemies. Oh my god, the bullying. Poor Ash. But yeah, if you talk to the orb, it says the black crystal shines ominously. The air hanging in the room seems slightly distorted. So we may or may not be coming back to that room later on. Oh, he's bullied. It wasn't by me though. I'm not sure how they balance this game. I think they've made it slightly, because you can save in dungeons, of course. They've added so that you can move diagonally, which I guess will cut down random encounters because you get into your position to where you want to be in a fewer amount of steps, right? Oh, let's see a look. Finally let you save him with Crystal Tower in FF3. Yeah, so let's chuck in a secret save, speaking of savings. Or a secret save, I meant quick save. I was just about to say we're coming up to an iconic point in the game. But the goblins had other things to say. Yeah, in terms of the Final Fantasy quote-unquote journey that we'll be doing, we will be going through FF1 back through to FF9, and I will be doing this, certainly this one 100%. The achievements, the main achievements will be the treasure achievements and completing the bestiary. Now, I'll probably get the treasure as I go along. With regards to the bestiary, any that I've missed, I might just do record it off stream, but complete it off stream. And yeah, we'll see where we go from there. But I will try to record it. Luckily, in this game, in Final Fantasy 1, every place you can go back to. There's nothing that you can't backtrack to. So it's quite lenient in that regard. So I could get to the end of the game, miss something in, say, Marsh Cave, but don't have to worry about not being able to get there. So yeah, we'll make sure to complete the bestiary. And yeah, as you say, Jasmine, this is quite iconic, right? Have you played these Pixel remasters, Jasmine? Time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. Has two amazing themes. Well, apparently the prelude theme, or the prelude theme, The do 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 was composed reportedly under quite heavy time constraints, reportedly in 30 minutes, because they needed a title theme last minute, and yeah, that's certainly one of the iconic themes. Which, you know, sometimes, you know, there's no minute like the last minute, or if it weren't for the last minute, nothing would ever get done. Or as I like Douglas Adams, if it weren't for the, yeah, the best part of the deadline is the whoosh sound it makes as it goes passing by. I feel like I'm sort of like... Right. Not that Nobuo Uematsu was procrastinating like I would do, but I'm hoping we can get rid of that wild wolf. Yeah, one other thing actually is this game was quite heavily inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, to the extent that I think the spell recharge system that the Pixel remaster has and that the original NES version has is sort of supposed to emulate somewhat the Dungeons and Dragons. You know, your spell charges, your MP recovers after sleeping or resting, and a lot of the enemies are also taken from Dungeons and Dragons. Including the Beholder enemy that had its sprite changed in the American version, and its name changed to Evil Eye, reportedly to avoid copyright, because I think the Beholder enemy was one that is sort of exclusively created by the D&D guys. I've never played much D&D, to be honest. So. Hey Amma, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Cancel and one. I don't know what that's supposed to say, because I can read cancel. I have no idea what andal is, or maybe and loan and L1. Could be L1. Like one of my chat messages. My eye, my eye. Oh, this tune's really nice. Could be out. Lackadaisical. Isn't that when... you know what I actually do? Like when you're quite relaxed about something. Lacking lacking enthusiasm and determination, carelessly lazy. Hey, Kendall, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, Matoya's in FF14, of course. There's something cozy about this game, I feel. It's got a certain charm to it. Of course, we didn't get it released in Europe until 2003. I think originally it's in North America in 1990, and then obviously in Japan on December 1987. I'm quite happy to go against this ogre because I feel like it gives us some quite hefty experience. But chuck a cure. Meh. Hey Kiwu, how's it going? Welcome in. She's a fun sourpuss secretly with a heart of gold. I would like to... yeah, we'll cure again. Nice. enjoying your afternoon, or did the beef chipotle burrito online, getting ready to drive for pickup? Oh, nice. Hope you enjoy your burrito. Sorry, this is just me mashing X. Yeah, well, luckily, unlike sort of the original NES version, it does auto target or auto retarget when you've destroyed when you've killed an enemy. In the original, of course, if you killed an enemy, that too. You just miss automatically. Oh no. Okay, well. Yeah, I'm sort of interested in trying to keep their experience levels quite even. So that's why I'm running away. I guess we'll go back to Cornelia. If you can't run away from goblins. Hey, he's still alive. How's it going? How's it coming in? Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, the music's really nice in this game. It did a really good job with it. I still feel like I'm wasting quite a bit of gil doing this, but oh well. Yeah, I thought I couldn't really think what else to name him after, to be honest, still alive, so I thought that'd be a fun little cameo, right? Yeah, because I know the FF2 has sort of default names, but yeah, and with regards to FF3, I'd probably just name them after the DS counterparts. We'll make our way over to Provoker. Now, unfortunately, we've actually taken out the Peninsula power. So, yeah, you can't use that to level up. Which, I think that is in every version aside from this game, right? Could be wrong, but... really crazy horses. Oh, man. So we can cast a cure. Nice. It's alright, Ash, you'll get through this. Yeah, he's definitely the one that I'm worried about. Interestingly enough, I never actually saw these lizards when... yeah, we will do the war mech. Again, if I don't encounter them, it's probably something that I'd do off stream still alive, but I do want to get all of the achievements in this game. So I'll certainly record my encounter with the war mech. Okay, seal. And yeah, here we're gonna do a bit of leveling up, mainly just to get gil, to get various weapons and armors. Let's go for weapons first, and spells more specifically. You like swords? Yeah, broadsword and scimitar. So does set us back a bit. You can actually find broadsword. The battle axe is less accurate, but it is more powerful technically, so you might want that. Okay, let's just see how much we're thinking about having to get. That'd be 750, 1500, plus whatever the armor deducts from us. I can get to Carnavia. Am I right in thinking that's never actually said in the game? Iron armor, so that's 640, so probably one there. Go. Get leather gloves for everybody. Awesome. So, I'm probably looking at one in about 2,500-ish. In FF3, you get to end boss with 4 high level black belt. Oh, nice. Yeah, those I believe certainly the NES version, the monks can be the strongest party, and in a weird way, I guess like having a team of like 4 monks might be a possibility. I tend to be pretty bland with my class selection, to be honest. But yeah, there's different ways that you can, of course, experience this game. I will say that between this stream and the next stream, I'll do the guild grinding off stream. I'm hoping to get to Melmond by the end of this stream. Specifically black belts that game 2 points to 100 with each character level while having the highest HP go. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to load up my FF3 copy. I actually I did have it on DS, but I never completed it until I played it on Vita. I think what put me off doing it on DS was the little side quest that you had to do to get Onion Knights. Even though, because you had to like do something with Mognet, wasn't it? You could do in game on the Vita version. You didn't need to do it online. That sort of put me off a bit from playing it on DS. That'll be cheeky level ups. See whether there's any more guild to be had down here. Oops, that took a while to load it. And I can wreck FF2. It's like dual wielding without the diminishing returns. Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I know Cumber was quite a fan of FF2 as well. I guess it's sort of like the versatility of it all, right? Yeah, unfortunately the peninsula of Pat Power, which will be up here, I mean, I guess you're still getting... Dude. I guess you're still getting stronger enemies then. Oh, man, that means I'm going to have to waste however much gil reviving Black Mage and missing out on these ogres. Yeah, I'll probably just have to make sure that Ash remains healed up. Yeah, as I say, I never actually had any characters die when I was doing it. Doing my practice run. I don't know whether maybe it's because I was playing it a bit more safe, but I don't feel like it would be. Now I've got to actually find the church in this town. Here we go. 80. Shit. And then it would be 50 for the inn. It might be 40 here. 50. Well, it is what it is. Which does mean that we're going to have to spend a little bit more time. So, yeah, I'll just have to make sure that that mage stays. Heal. Well, I mean, as we get more levels anyway, it should be slightly more easier. In any event. I'll make sure to use an antidote after. There we go. I feel like going around here would be a little better just because we've got the nice a few stronger enemies here. I probably won't venture too far away from town, so I guess just going around here. Yeah, have you got a favourite Final Fantasy game still alive? Hey Trow, how's it going? Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. Enjoy the lurks. Cheers for popping by. Yeah, have a good one, man. If you're not from Trow, definitely check him out. Doing some Hollow Knight. Also doing some Celeste. We're just beating up wolves at the moment. The usual. Yeah, we got a free antidote from that. Sweet. Don't like being ambushed. I might just do a preemptive cure on the Black Mage. I might actually as well, I guess, cast Protect. Might as well. Okay. Well, I think this one should provide us with plenty of experience. Only played the 2000 remakes of 1 to 4. I'd go with 4 on PS. Oh, nice. Yeah, 4 was really good, especially on PSP. Yeah, I did, because I think the PSP version of this would it's certainly a really good version as well. And that got us our level up. What are we doing for Gil? 858. What did I say we needed? Oh, 2,300, wasn't it? I'm not hunting doggos, they're hunting me. Welcome back, Penny. Nice, I'll fire. Attack this fella. Yeah, we made it past the first boss. Now just getting some money so we can buy some more spells. What's your favourite, red or purple, Joey's? Oh, these wolves. I like the red ones because they're easier to kill, but the purple ones give us more experience. I think the white mage is actually stronger than the black mage at the moment. Sweet. Another 100 gil. Let's make our way back to town. Again, absolutely, you don't need to bother doing all this, to be honest. So I'm just sort of doing it for the to get a bit of everything, really. Okay, so I think we'll again just heal up at the inn. I guess we could just afford one more spell, couldn't we? White mages are fairly balanced stats. White wizards often end up with similar HP to knights. Yeah, I'm quite a fan of because I always like having a healer in my party, even in FF5. I don't know why I'm heading up. So, yeah, the youngers tend to give quite good skill. I think, yeah, 195. Okay, maybe we come across more ogres. I'd check. It's a shame we don't have any multi-damage deal or multi-casting spells at the moment. Yeah, I guess we just need from this point 1,500 gil will get us the spells. Yeah, really bullying the mages. I probably want a little bit more just to get some potions as well. Let's use a cure. There we go. Make sure that our Fat Mage stays nice and healthy. Wondering whether I can find any. Nice. The knight's doing alright now. Awesome. Don't expect this one to be surviving much longer. So that's all Gucci. Nice, that's a good 240. So we'll chuck in a cheeky save. Yeah, I think on my test playthrough I was level 10 when I made it to where I wanted to be. I think these horses give pretty good Garland experience as well. It's good that we got a nice preemptive attack. Oh, I'll take it back. 45 gil for that. Bastards. Okay, we'll have a little explore down here. I think, yeah, there's no fast forward function on this as far as I'm aware. You can see that little icon at the top left. That's if I press square, it'll go into auto battle. So I'm not sure what the functionality of that is, whether it uses magic for you or whether it just focuses on attacks. But yeah, that's available too if you need it. Hey, awesome! So yeah, level 10, and we're not too far off our 1500 gil target either. Exposing. I might go a little bit longer just to get some to buy some potions and antidotes as well. Again, just to sort of play it a little bit safe. Maybe we're alright for antidotes as it stands. Yeah, there will be, I guess, one more grinding session that we'll do at the next town, and then that should be it for this stream. I guess actually there is other ways to earn gil on previous versions that aren't in this version, unfortunately. So. But I'll explain that in a second. I guess in a second. Certainly, once we're done with the Voca. Just sick each of these characters on these tarantulas. Nice. Always, yeah, because from what I've I've been reading and sort of looking into trying to find contemporaneous reviews of FF1 from 1990. Couldn't really find any online. I didn't look too hard, to be honest, but yeah, from what I understand, this was sort of because I think most games sort of did the first-person perspective for their battles, like Dragon Quest certainly did. Hey Techno Odin, how's it going? Yeah. Hope you're doing good today. Awesome. Yeah, if you're not from Techno Odin, do some God of War. Yeah, welcome into Final Fantasy 1. We're just getting a bit of guild grinding going, just for some spells and equipment. What we've all done. Yeah, that card. I just named him after the Strangers of Paradise characters. I've not actually played Strangers of Paradise yet, but I do have it. Okay, so definitely want Blizzard. Want Temper as well. Probably go for Slow. Since we have all our hard-earned. Yeah, same here, Reckard. Yeah, it looks pretty groovy from what I've seen of it. And for our White Mage, I think we'd have Silence, Invis, and Null Shock. That reduces lightning damage. Hey, awesome. Okay, I won't bother healing just yet at the inn. I'll use a cure, but yeah, I think at this point we'll go fight with pirates, which have been causing some mayhem around this town. I guess this is sort of like the quote-unquote second boss fight. It's not really a boss fight as such, but yeah, these guys are susceptible to sleep. I think they're also susceptible to blind if you have that. Probably next turn I'll heal up the Black Mage. Okay, awesome. So let's get rid of the ones that didn't fall asleep. Cure Ash. Go, set that bastard on fire. Yeah, I think it should be good. Sweet. Yeah, what have you got to say for yourself now, Bick? Bick the dick. Not beak, bicker, beaker. Who knows? But yeah, for doing this, we get the pirate ship. So that allows us to explore a little more. Actually, I guess we'll get one potion, one antidote. We'll go heal at the inn and then make our way to Elfheim. Awesome. Oh yeah, now that we've beat the pirates, actually, we've got different dialogue. So yeah, just a bit more advice, I guess. So the change of heart. Thanks us. I think some of us give those. Yeah. So yeah, you've sort of got a. I guess it's easy once you know where to go and stuff, but if you're playing this for the first time and you're not using any guides or anything, your best bet of learning where to go is just to talk to the citizens of any town, and they'll sort of give you clues. So we had that guy explaining about the ports, got this guy explaining about Melmond, had the one person mentioning elves. And yeah, so there is a little mini game that you can access. I don't know what Matoya's booms are on about. It says cancel and L1, but yeah, here I've found if you just hold X and press circle 55 times, get access to it. Now, in the original, you could get gil, quite a lot of gil by doing this little puzzle, and yeah, unfortunately, you don't get any money from doing it in this version. There you go. I'm not the fastest at this, to be honest, but that might be a pretty decent setup, you know. Yeah, I'm sure other people know a faster way to do this, but there we go. It's not gonna work, is it? There. 3, 11, let's do it. Awesome. We just need to figure out how to swap these over. I think it shouldn't be too big a job. I think we've got this. There we go. Awesome. Hey Cumber, how's it going? All coming in. Yeah, but unfortunately in this version you don't get anything for it, so it's I guess it's a fun little mini game. But yeah, in terms of any monetary value, meh, thanks for the Goat Redeemer cat. And hope you're doing well today, Cumber. So now we're going to head over to Alpine, which is all the way down to the south. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about getting put into battles here. I'm a bit fussed about getting ambushed though, but thanks, Kendall. Yeah, Final Fantasy 1 sort of follows a traditional thanks, Cumber. It sort of follows a traditional turn-based, so it's not any like active time battle. Of anything, it's just you take your turn, the enemy takes their turn. I think whoever's faster goes first. Okay, I'm glad that we got rid of one enemy at least. Awesome. I'm just thinking, is it faster to get Gil fighting on these ships? Might be. I think the Buccaneers are quite good for Gil, actually. Yeah, V60. And we dropped a saber. Nice. Oh, here's our next destination. Oops. Oh yeah, you can change your characters with your field character with the R buttons. Let's see what's going on in this castle. Astos' curse has put our prince into a deep sleep. Oh dear. I'll try my best. Now, who can cure? No, don't stand there, man. Out of the way. I thought there was one of the elves that gave you the hint as to who can cure it. Might be the fella up outside. I guess we have to go around. Here we go. Yeah, so this is blocked by a mystic key. Oh, he just tells us that. Maybe it's somebody in town then. We've got 1400 gil. And yeah, this is where we're gonna need quite a lot to get what we want. Now, we sort of got lucky getting the saber off a Buccaneer, so that means that we don't have to purchase that. We will get the dagger for the Black Mage though. But yeah, that saber drop was pretty good. And finally, we've got a weapon that'll improve the attack of our Black Mage, which is awesome. We'll check the armor. Now, I'm not going to go for the level 4 spells just yet. Okay. But we'll certainly try and go for the level 3 spells. We've got the copper armlets, the iron shield, and the cap, so helm. We've got a iron shield, we get 3 caps, we get 1 helmet. Guess we'll get one of these. Guess I need only bought one of the other caps. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, so we'll get a copper armlet for them, so that's 800 that we need. Plus the spells, which I think are 1,000 apiece, for white and black respectively. Yeah, that means 6,000, and then I also want enough for some antidotes as well. Yeah, that's a sort of reference to Link. And yeah, our next mission is mainly to hunt down Astos, and he mentions a castle to the northwest. We'll make sure that we can put that to a test. Yeah, let's go get some gil. We'll chuck in another cheeky save. Oh, there's a port down here. Oh, that's always south, isn't it? Yeah, I've noticed sometimes if the screen transitions due to change. Yeah, it does actually. Here lies Erdrick. The original. Yeah, so I think the gil that you get here is a little bit better than what you get on land, so we'll do our grinding here. Again, this is mainly for money rather than levels, but I think it is both sort of positive, right? Real quick. Hey, Sit Muse, how's it going? Welcome in. Hello, hello. Awesome, we've got Buccaneers. Yeah, if you're not following Sit Muse, she's doing some boyfriend dungeon. Did you manage to complete it in the end? End of an era. Crying, as you speak. Well, I guess maybe not crying, but yeah, legit is. Just on a chore. Oh yeah, no worries. Hopefully let's go well. I hope the chores go well too. And yeah, Cumber. To be honest, I wouldn't have known that had I not sort of looked up the TV tropes trivia page. Yeah, it's quite funny that they have that little reference to Dragon Quest in. Did beat the game, now you feel, oh no, I mean, I guess you got friend zoned by Isaac, so you certainly would feel empty without him glorping you, but yeah, but I feel, oh dear. I guess we'll just use a safety potion. Hopefully Black Mage gets his moving first. Nice. Proper fen zone. I know, right? As opposed to those fake fen zones. But yeah. Do you have any? Sorry. Yeah. It's all yours for a slow goblin. Yeah. Feel free to do your chores. I'll bombard you with questions when you're back. I was just about to chuck 100 at you. But yeah, got to see. Boyfriend dungeon, end of an era. And I should say at this moment in time we're not doing anything too interesting. I'm just grabbing some gold. Kendo, not the slot sounds, no. Guess we could just use fund, right? That should hopefully kill him in one shot. Oh, actually, I think one of the spells that we can get will be Fundada. I did have a kitchen nightmare the other day. I went to make a pizza and I put it in for, I think it said preheat the oven for 10 minutes or whatever. Pop the pizza in for 15 minutes. So I went and checked it. I probably checked about maybe 14 minutes. And I know this because the oven has a little clock on it. So I checked out approximately 14 minutes after I put the pizza in. And it looked like it wasn't done, so I thought, fine, I'll give it another, like it probably looked like it wasn't done. I thought, okay, I'll give it another 2 minutes. And maybe it's a little bit late or something, or maybe time flows differently in the oven than it does in real life, because next time I checked, it is completely burnt to a crisp. I wasted all that time. I mean, I still ate it because I couldn't be bothered waiting to put another one in. But yeah, it's pretty devastated. Looking forward to it as well. Ah, well. What can you do? Right, so again, we seem to be getting quite a few potions from these battles, which is good. I guess we'll use a potion. On you and you. Awesome. Okay. And we're at just under 2k, so again, not long to go at all. The Buccaneers are really good sources of skill, actually. I think I'm always quite happy when I see one of these Buccaneers. Sort of look like my brother a bit. Just in the sense that he has a beard more than anything. So I wasn't sure which one was targeting them. Yeah, 600 gil. We got 2 sabers as well. I guess one thing that you might say is why don't you sell the sabers to get more money? And yeah, but I guess that is something I could do. As I say, to be honest, I think the good thing about doing this is twofold in a way, in that we're getting both. Okay, so now we want about 4k. I'll go for full car in next. Right, we're getting both experience and gil. Ogres are always good as well. You can sort of see once you've kitted out your warrior, compared to say your thief, the warrior's taking a lot less damage. Yeah, actually, I think you could sort of go here, and there seems to be quite a few ogres that appear there, but To be honest, I think, which is good for me, Gil, of course, but I think going on the ship seems to be a decent enough way for me. I'm gonna wear that. Oh my god. That top one's already taking quite a bit of damage. So, make sure to cure Ash up. Ash seems to be the one that they all go for. So, if we defend, magic. Now we can use our newfound Fundara. To hopefully get rid of these all in one go. Really dig the spell effect there as well. Nice. I think it is pretty groovy. And again, the advantages once you start building on your levels is the battles you can go over a little swifter. That's pretty nice. So you would defend and then use that Fundara. Again, the gaze is sort of only a temporary paralysis, so you don't have to worry about getting caught up with that. There we go. As this is going on, I'll just quickly grab some water. I guess, hopefully, I'll wait till the next battle. I was just thinking so you could have something to watch rather than have it go straight to full screen. Okay, great. Catch you in a sec. Okay, I'm back, and luckily none of our characters died, which is good. Yeah, so this is getting a bit of a dry throat then. Okay, awesome. So, only all at level 11, which isn't too bad. Got 2,500 gil out of the 4K that we want. So a little cure on him. And he can use a potion on himself. Yeah, Black Mage seems to be getting the first move in. So that's why I didn't want to risk a cure, to be honest. Not that I'm going to be singing the cure. I would do, but I can't think of any cure songs off the top of my head. On Friday. I guess what I mean to say is my voice is certainly not capable of singing the cure. And that concludes my TED Talk on the cure. Thank you for attending. So we'll cure him. Certainly. Realise quite how low he's going. I think we might have another trip to the in after this fight. Why not? And it'll also give us the opportunity to a couple more spells as well. Let's get the Vocare for our Black Mage. You're welcome. And we can go grab. I believe this is Cure and Heal. Yeah. And Diarrhea. I might actually get Null Blaze. On my test playthrough, I did actually get Diarrhea. Well, that is pretty. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll get Diarrhea up until we've done the Earth Crystal. I never healed, did I? And then once we've done the Earth Crystal, because there's quite a lot of undead enemies there, you can actually forget your magic as well. So, because you can only buy 3 spells per character, per magic user, I should say. If you've got a spell that you don't want, go on magic. Say you want to buy whatever the other one was it? Not invis, but yeah, you can just forget a spell and do it that way. So, yeah, these walls mean nothing to me. What else was I gonna say? That's Final Fantasy related. Yeah, I'll probably go for 3k, 3,000 gil, just because I do want to buy some potions and antidotes as well for the next place. I might not think, like, might think of going overboard. I was probably going underboard. I know on my when I did a little test run of this, I bought like 10 potions and 10 antidotes, and I was scurrying back to Elfheim just to heal up. It really wasn't enough. So I think we'll do the next cave, or the first like proper dungeon in 2 trips. Again, this will be beneficial for us because we'll sort of get a little bit more gil and a little bit more experience that way. And it's also a little bit safer. But by all means, you can just go out and do it all in one trip. It's by no means impossible. There we go. I was hoping for the... I need to check how much money these guys drop actually. I was hoping for the Buccaneers, but they do drop a healthy amount. 162 is not too bad, but I feel like it is but those do tend to be quite tough battles. Hopefully the Black Mage gets a move in first before the Warrior. Nice. Get rid of the Sahagin. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, apologies if I do butcher any pronunciations. So here I think our Fundara comes to the fore. Sweet. Yeah, sorry if this isn't the most interesting thing to watch. Again, I'm sort of wondering how best to actually do this. I've sort of made saves at different points and just sort of did and this is what I prepared earlier. Yeah, perhaps if that's the overwhelming preference between anybody, might be something that I do going forward. I feel like with the other RPGs that I've played, I've always sort of done with grinding off stream. But I figured because there's so many different points that I wanted to do it here. Thank you for the goat yard. I thought I'd work it this way. And maybe I'm playing it a bit safe with health, but heal up Ash. And yeah, I'm definitely not a goat yard, despite what some people may say. I think we'll just do a... Yeah, I don't know how one discovers that they're good at doing goat impressions. Don't know if it's something I'm proud of, to be honest. I think it's alright. Oh, awesome. Got the by Garland. No, it's not a slope yard. That's gonna be a banned phrase if you carry on. Then what will you do? Oh, you can't do anything because you can't slop. Okay, I think just get everybody cured up a bit. Yeah, I think we'll do a couple more battles just to. I've got the Buccaneer, so I might do a Buccaneer and one more. Because you'll go. Oh. Well, I guess if you put it this way, I might just shed a tear after I ban you. For calling me a goat and calling me a slorp glorp. Never. Don't know whether anybody's ever heard of Smooth McGroove, but they always do pretty cool a cappella versions of Final Fantasy tunes. They do other games as well. I sort of just know him from Final Fantasy, but that's always cool. Hey Zero, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. And yeah, if you're not from Zero, let's do some Tekken 7. How's Tekken 7 been going? Hope it's been going well. Okay, so we've got all the spells that I want. Thanks, Shads, for the 5 bits, much appreciated. Yeah, if you're not from Shads, do some Mario and Rabbids Kingdom battle. Yeah, I do really dig Tekken 7. I don't play it as often as I perhaps want to. I guess due to time and stuff. I'm not particularly the best at it. Okay, so yeah, we'll certainly get healed. And I do want to get Null Blaze eventually, but for now we're just going to get Diara, and then I'll end up forgetting that after the first big dungeon. Yeah, this is the first Final Fantasy Sit Muse, so starting from the beginning. But yeah, this is actually the Pixel remaster, so it's essentially FF1 as you might see it on the NES. It's got a few graphical updates, and I guess the big thing actually is there's a few quality of life updates. So you couldn't buy Ethers or Phoenix Downs in the original. You can in this one. So Ethers restore magic, Phoenix Downs revive characters. Originally you'd have to go to town to revive characters, or go to inns to restore magic. Awesome, so I've got 20 antidotes and 20 potions, that should do us. Yeah, hopefully they come to consoles, because they're really well done. Yeah, there's a few other quality of life things, like you can bring up the map at any time. It tells you sort of where you've been, and also tells you what chests and stuff are there actually, which is pretty groovy. Yeah, what else? Oh yeah, you can quick save as well. So yeah, it's got Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Before we go to our next destination, we're going to go on a little detour. But yeah, Final Fantasy 1, I think, I mean, I've been sort of just fighting enemies quite a bit because probably not so much this version, to be honest, but certainly the original NES one. I know you'd sort of want to take your time with it, make sure you're not rushing, and you know your characters are suitable. Yeah, so I mean, like, you compare what you're seeing now, it looks quite basic, but you know, especially if you sort of compare it to the RPGs of the day. I know like key differences were the battles were sort of left and right, side to side rather than first person. There's spell animations, and it's all stuff that you take for granted a bit. Oh, did Nobuo Uematsu do all the remixes as well? Yeah, so sometimes I actually like listening to the like beats and bops of the NES version of the music. I think it's quite catchy. But R2 has quality of life improvements, nice. Yeah, FF2 is a weird one. I'm sort of looking forward to getting to that one. Okay, got this fellow here. I was tricked by Astos, the king of the dark elves. Now my castle has fallen into ruin. I could only retrieve a crown from Marsh Cave. Okay, so that's our next task. So we went from Mr. Tifa's 3D to Triple D boobers, pretty much. I mean, to be fair, I think there's a mermaid that you meet. He's probably got some nice tits on it. I don't know. I mean, Miss Ogre as well. He's and that Gigas Worm is sort of glorping about. It's like, oh, Ogre, get that on. Yeah. So I guess in terms of in terms of my Final Fantasy journey, I have done 7, 8, and 9 on stream before, but I've lost all the VODs, so I wouldn't mind redoing them just to get the VODs back. So I think we'll end up doing all of them eventually again. Yeah, this is the first P7 game that I'm doing on stream. Okay, so here we go. I guess this is like the first big juncture. I think I mentioned before that I was going to do the Marsh Cave in 2 run-throughs. The advantage being we get levels, more levels, and just keeps it safe. So let's go up. I think the green one can poison you. There's quite a few enemies here that can poison you, so that's why we've got antidotes. And it is. I don't know. As saying, actually, I do like listening to the NES OST. So the undead enemies, you can use the dire attacks with the white mage, or you can use fire. Hey, bounty hunter, how's it going? How was Yu-Gi-Oh? And yeah, welcome in everybody. We're just doing Final Fantasy 1, so no worries if Final Fantasy isn't your thing, but if you want to hang out again, feel free. Oh yeah, no, that's definitely another quality of life feature. So I'll show that off actually down here, Zero. So yeah, this has a map, which obviously wasn't in the NES version. You sort of had to draw your own, I guess. So, especially with these old caves, there's quite a few dead ends. Like this way that we're going to is actually leads to a dead end, but it's just some items there. But again, these dungeons, I guess, back in the NES, sort of designed to wear you down a bit. And as Zero says, if you go into a room, it also allows you to check all of the rooms as well, because some of the rooms are empty and they don't have chests in. Yeah, how was your stream, Bounty? Hope Yu-Gi-Oh went well. Those poor 8-bit thieves. Oh man, that would also be one of my band names if I ever had one. So, yeah, here we get a dagger. Now, different. I believe the PSP version did this too. That the Pixel remaster actually doesn't do. But in the NES version, certainly. Shit. you know what, just to play it safe, we'll just have everybody use a potion. Including you. Okay. Yeah, maybe I went a bit overboard there, but didn't want my black mage to die. Yeah, so in the other versions, if you got a chest that had the same item in a chest within the dungeon, that chest would also open and be empty. In this version, I don't think that's the case. So every chest sort of has something to grab. Second, there wasn't an encounter there. Empty rooms, you say? FF2. Yeah, FF2 was notorious for that. Ugh, green slimes, man. Hey Gengar, how's it going? How's it going in? Hope you're doing well today. Okay, not on Gengar, doing some scorn. You like some scornography? Scornographic content? Pretty good. What do you mean pretty good? Well, you're doing very good. But yeah, I'm doing alright. My legs are actually... Oh, my knees, I think, from football, which I didn't know I was going to be playing football today. And I was actually recording some stuff off stream for YouTube. And I got a call off my mate JB, and it's like, "Oh, I'm outside your house ready to pick you up." I was like, "You what?" So I was like, "Sorry, I've got to have to end this video. Cheers for watching." Say always better to play it safe. I guess we'll heal him with the potion. Oh. Scorn and cut. Whoever gets Scorn glow up. I was going to say, whoever gets the best Scorn joke by the end of the stream, I might give him a point. But if you're going to Scorn glow up, no. Disgusting. Absolutely vile. Gonna feel some scorn after. Right? Too right, Gengar. I'm here trying to play Final Fantasy and show off one of my favourite series, and I've got somebody going off about Kirby sucking on an arm or whatever it is. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sounds bloody painful, to be honest. It does. No Scorn glorping. Okay. So, as I say, I think we're going to make a quick trip back to L5. Gonna Scorn one more in New England. We're gonna Scorn one more. Sorry. I think that song taught me about Vindaloos. Yeah, sometimes when it changes battle scenes, you might briefly see one of the old battle scenes. I think that's just my PC laptop, to be honest, rather than the Pixel remaster. Okay, Cumber, I think you're winning so far. I love Vindaloo with food down the side. You know what? I do like this song. I think my favourite England song is Three Lions. I guess that goes without saying. Right? With regards to the curry, I do like a good curry, but yeah, I've never been like a major fan of Vindaloos. I went to a curry with a friend on Friday. I had a lamb dress. Because I tend to be pretty boring in them. I'm always like chicken tikka. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. But Or if I'm ordering curry with a friend or my former flatmate, we used to order 2 different curries, normally like chicken tikka masala and Rogan Josh. World in Motion. Okay, World in Motion. Good. I do like. I know it's not the England football anthem, but I did like the Shakira one. I think that's pretty catchy. Should I do a World in Motion map? Maybe I'll leave it to the end. I'm just thinking because sometimes the copyright strikes stop me from either uploading the VODs on YouTube or muting part of it. So I was thinking if I do it at the end, at least, then it's easier just to edit out. Oh, maybe we can get Jasm to sing it. I'm sure he can do a good version of it in the nicest possible way, of course. Sorry, that sounded like us dissing your singing abilities. It's literally just because yours was the first name I saw, Jasm. I'm sure you would be an excellent... Well, actually, whilst we're here, haste is a really good spell to grab. I think we can use level 4 magic. Yeah, so haste. It's very expensive. Again, at some point we'll be wanting to get the rest of these spells. Probably Blizzard and Sleeper. Please do a rap on World in Motion. Oh, welcome back, Penny. No, we're gonna tackle a dungeon now. Not before I buy some items, actually. Just restock up on potions and stuff. Yeah, we are going to do a World in Motion wrap. I'll save it to the end of the stream, though, if that's okay. We'll get some... Let's just get one antidote. I'm half tempted to get a couple of ethers. Ooh. Quite expensive, though, aren't they? Yeah, you know what? Sod it, we'll leave the ethers. Wasn't Ant and Dector once? That's like Lampard to someone to Hesky to Owen. It's a goal. I think that's your song, Gengar. Someone to someone. Oh, guess more like no. Grr. It's like grr. Oh man. Over. Okay, let's just focus on the cheat first. Savage. Don't do football. Okay, I'm sorry, Gengar. Gengar, have you ever played Cluedo? That's a nice hefty amount of yeah, if you're not on Gengar, let's do some scornographic content on Scorn. Sorry, I'll stop calling it scornography. Gengar's a Gengar, is he a drow? Those are life's deepest questions. Am I a man? Or am I a muppet? Am I a muppet? As if Joel enjoys Scar. Did a stupid thing and went the wrong way. I sort of want to save the MP for when we actually get into a Marsh Cave. Which to Bigs to keep it to Tidus. Actually, I think Keeper's a better striker. Well, Tidus will be the best anyway. But yeah, maybe Keeper might take the shot or want to take the shot. Yeah, I guess if I can't recover my FF10 VODs, I might actually have a go at getting all of the FF10 VODs downloaded off the hard drive, because if I can't do that, I guess we'll have to do FF10 again, which again isn't too bad, but Tidus to Foggy. Keeper's like Duke Nukem in that. Could he not go into that career with a birth name like that? Gee. It called Top of the World or something like that. There's an England song written by Ian McCulloch and Johnny Marr, formed by a collaboration of Ian McCulloch, Ocean Colour Scene. Ocean Colour Scene. I really like the train song. I think it's called The Day I Caught the Train or something like that. I can't recall the exact tune to it, but yeah, it's a really good tune. That's the only song I know. Space and Weirdly with Spice Girls. Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Okay, let's do a cheeky save. Level 14 now. I suspect by the time we get through here, we should be level 16, thereabouts. I played FF 10. Let's just defend. You can use, I think Dire should be good for them. Yeah, hey JT, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're doing good today. Yeah, 10 I did, I think that was right at the end of last year that I finished 10. Okay, down, deep and down. There was a couple of chests here. That's an empty room, but yeah, we've got these three. Yeah, if you're not from JT, he's doing some Silent Hill. Definitely check him out. Oh, that's good. The one person who we wanted has ended up getting a little bit out of sorts, so we'll use Fiver. I don't think there's actually any boss here, so yeah, I suppose I shouldn't be too precious with my MP. Did a fun little FF10 stream just showing off a cool grinding technique. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think we'll do a cheeky bit of healing as well. Good. Awesome. There's cheeky empty. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying cheeky. Not LeBlanc's ass. I don't think I'll be redoing FF10-2 anytime soon. To be honest, the amount of stuff I did off stream for that was it's such a quite a complicated one to plan out for, actually. Yeah, nice fire going. Quickly have more SP than you can actually spend. Oh, for the FF10 10 thing. Would that be grinding at the first set of first sit? On the ship, I mean. Yeah, I reckon so. Can't think how long I've actually spent on 10 and 10T, but I'll have to check that after, because I know Rocket League will definitely be top at probably a few thousand hours, which sort of think, how do I spend that long on a game? Monster Arena with triple overdrive and overdrive to AP. Oh, yeah. I think that's what I used when I was actually prepping for penance. So this is another room. There's loads of items actually. I'll show them here. So yeah, we've got 2 chests here. Got 2 here. Well, 3 I guess here. We've got these 3 here. This one is sort of the one that we want to go for. And these chests we can't get until we've got an item. Oh yeah, God, I imagine FF14 would be a big one. I promise I will get back into that properly at some point. I'm not a rocket yard. San Marto penance book fighting it, would you? Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, I think if you've been able to get Yojimbo at the point where you can San Marto anyway, and knowing what you can do, I think most people are in a position where they'll be able to beat penance. It's just a matter of whether you can be asked doing it. I was gonna say that the dangerous things about werewolves are they can poison you. I don't know why they're like hardly any of the enemies have been able to flee. Oh, thanks for that, Pinny. I'm not a butt yard. I'm not a goat yard. And you should not have abducted me. That's very mean. Dangerous things about... Okay, the nice things about werewolves are they can poison you. It's not better. God, you can tell who the dog lover is in chat. Oh, the copper armlet. I never bought another one actually for that. Yeah, that's something that I actually meant to purchase. So I guess it's good that we found it, and it saved us a little bit of money as well. We've got to hey Skyshen, how's it going? Yeah, if you're not from Skyshen, he's not been streaming for a bit. I think he's taking a little bit of a break, but definitely check him out. He does awesome music. Can play keyboard, piano. Just a really nice dude. Yeah, I hope you're doing good today. Yeah, it's good to see you in FaZe's stream earlier. We're just revisiting, well, I say revisiting, we're just visiting Final Fantasy 1 at the moment. It's going alright, and I'm aware that we're going to have to make our way back out of this cage. Cave. Coming out of my cage and I've been feeling just fine. So I won't ever sing again. Promise. That's a Jeffy I'd guarantee. Really? Woof. Okay. He's a cheeky cure. I even checked the map, didn't I? I think it is proven single-handedly that I'm not a killer yard. I'm a filler yard. Oh, did you stream earlier, Sky? Ah, oh, sorry, man. It's, hope I didn't miss it. Well, I hope I didn't miss a stream, but if I have, I'll have to check the VOD out. But, oh no. I guess we'll use our Phoenix down. Hopefully, fight will go first. Yeah, this is quite a quite a gauntlet, really. Don't want to use all of my level 2 spells. We've got everything there, got everything up top, so I guess it's just these bottom 3 that we need. Pure. His graphics are a lot nicer. Oh, this is the Pixel Remaster. So yeah, I'm playing it on Steam. But yeah, it's sort of like inclusive name, sort of upgrade of the. Yeah, it sort of follows more the NES version than say other. Other Final Fantasy 1 ports. Also, we've got a level up. Also, so like the spell system is more closely aligned to that. But hey, Sparky, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're doing good today. Yeah, if you're not from Point Spark, he does a lot of Final Fantasy 1 speedruns actually. Yeah, this is definitely not as fast as you. I did say that I wanted to save Diara, so if we can do a 5 of it. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Sparky. Sort of hoping that after taking that one out. Definitely this time though. Awesome. Yeah, Sparky also does a lot of RPGs as well. Green slime. Oh, I've not heard of Go before. Okay, awesome. So this chest has a little bit of a battle within it, so let's go for it. So I think they're weak to Diara. And also chucking a cheeky Flundara as well. Oh, there you go. Yeah, if we're doing that, we get the canal. Hey Larson, how's it going? There's a sooner cure the COVID state. Hopefully, well, I'm guessing you. Yeah, hopefully you recover. Well, Larson, sorry to hear, dude. Yeah, if you're not found Larson, do some space engineers. Okay, now we can get out of here. As I say, we will be making another trek down here eventually. Hey, Diecast, how's it going, Xanthan? Hope you're doing well. Oh, are you off now, Sky Shen? Yeah, get some good sleep. And yeah, have an awesome rest of your day. And cheers for popping by. And I hope you're doing good today, Xanthan. If you're not from Xanthan, Diecast is a Rocket League professional. It's really good on it, actually. Also doing some VR chat as well. Okay. Luckily that one ran up. Of course we get poison. Ooh. You can do mostly do VR stuff. Yeah, it's I've never really experienced VR chat stuff, but did you get the spell temper? I did. I think. Yeah. I mean, I tend to be pretty, I guess, tight with my spell usage, to be honest, Sparky. Probably much to people's frustration. But I know that that's really good, along with haste at, you know, I think for a few bosses, I'll be using that combo. Sweet. Do you have over 3.5k hours? Dang it. Yeah, I'll have to check. Because I think the scariest thing about having Steam track how long you spend on the game is that you sort of realise, oh god, I've spent hundreds or thousands or billions of hours in curing poison. A nice bit of gill as well. I think that should hopefully see us with enough to Um, to get all the spells that I want. Probably do with another bit of go, but I'm sure I'll get that soon enough. So. Anyway, isn't it? Hey, Foolish Overlord, how's it going? Life well spent. But yeah, I'm doing good, thanks, Foolish. Hope you're doing well today. Okay, so we've got one fire. Ugh. Okay, after. Yeah, these things are pretty high defense, unfortunately. And we're all out of magic now. Oh, fire magic. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe actually our level 2 spells might affect it. I'll have to try that next time. But we're almost at the exit. Let's get out of here. Yeah, if you're not following Foolish Overlord, do some 3D.game heroes. The RC Open. Oh no, that's cool. Yeah, it's always nice being able to meet and chat with different people and, you know, make connections and friends as well. It's been crap, but this weekend's I mean, I'm not glad to hear a week's been crap, but glad to hear a weekend has been better. Okay, so I think if all of them attack this one, and if he blizzard that one. Nice. And I think hopefully we should be able to get rid of this bash to it. Easily enough. Nice. Okay. Now we get out of here. Okay, awesome. Make our way back to the elf village. Yeah, that's sort of like the first big dungeon. Yeah, but it's sort of like, I guess, exemplifies what FF is. Just a lot of dungeoning, fighting. Again, there's plenty more ways to be more efficient than I am. In this game, I guess you just play to your own play style and strengths. I think normally I'd probably be even more grind heavy. Of course, we could go straight to give the crown to the king, but I'm interested in stocking up and dungeons fighting. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like the only difference that modern FF games do that traditional FF games don't are the tits. Oh, is your face still swollen? Okay, so we've got 12k, which I think is just 500k less than getting all of the spells. It's fine. It might be... Yeah, get Blizzara. Get Sleeper. I don't know whether there's any way to change the order of the magic. No. Yeah. poisoner would be a good one actually. Null frost. There. But we'll quickly go get 500 more gil. I feel like that shouldn't take us too long. Let's go back on our boat. Oh, you're going down Persona 5. Yeah, how far are you in that now, Jasmine? Because I did notice you were playing a bit off. Well, I don't know whether he's playing off stream or whether he's just sort of doing a bit of leveling up or what have you. But I did notice you came up on my Steam as like, Jasmine is now on Persona 5 Royal. It actually came up yesterday and I was like, oh. I did check to see whether he's actually streaming it, but I don't think we were. At 7.5 hours in, I think seeing out of the full job. Yeah, I know those games are quite notorious for being quite long. Okay, this is good because these give quite a nice bit of money. I think we've got enough for what I want anyway, but I was just thinking we could maybe heal up again at the inn and purchase some potions. That should see us with plenty. Hello. And so, I guess, just in terms of what we're gonna do now, we'll head to a western keep. I'll do all that. Then we'll have quite a bit of backtracking just to get some treasure. Once I've done that, we'll get to the next town, but won't do anything in the town. We'll call it there. So we'll leave our first crystal till next stream. The reason for that actually is because there's quite a lot of items for sale. I'll probably get the guild for it off stream, so at least you won't have to suffer the misfortune of having to watch all of that. What are we doing for antidotes? I think I just get the potions, and then yeah, we've got poison as well. Let's do a cheeky save. Level 15. Pretty awesome. Make our way up. Yeah, I think this one will be a lot shorter. In fact, I think we can certainly be done with it by maybe by December, and then we can make a start on Chrono Cross. So yeah, while this is going on, I'm sort of doing a bit of Chrono Cross research, making notes on that. But yeah, because I mean, there's a class upgrade that there's the 4 crystals, but I feel like even at this point, we're probably about once we've done all that I need to do here, probably about quarter of the way through, maybe even a bit more. But where's my lean class? Welcome back, Pickett. How was the rest of Fatal thing? Mid to late November. Yeah, I reckon so. I think that's sort of why I've been showing off quite a lot of the leveling up as well on stream, whereas normally I'd save it for off-stream stuff. I guess to an extent that's what I'm going to be doing between this stream and next stream, but even yeah, will probably be a bit more grinding and stuff. Yeah, if you're not on Cricken, he's doing some, also doing some FF, but Fatal Frame. Glam metal band. Yeah, interestingly enough, I think the monk was one class to get a disadvantage from the class change, because I think they leveled up exactly the same as a master as they did as the monk, except the magic defense was increased less per level. That's only on the NES version. I imagine that's been sorted for this one. So this guy can actually use death on one of the characters. So I think we're all good here. I don't know if it's susceptible to anything. I guess I should have had the white mage defend, but she used tempo on the warrior. I guess this is like your first proper boss fight as well. Get a haste on the warrior as well. Can use haste on the thief. Shit. Heal. Oh no. Did I save after? I can't remember when I last saved, to be honest. I think I would have saved after coming out, right? So I was sort of half tempted just to turn. Hopefully I've not done anything naughty. Anything that I regret. Level 15, that's certainly at this point, so that's good. The magic will, yeah, so awesome. So we've not lost out on anything. Just before, yeah, I've got 20 potions, nice. So I guess I'll make sure to heal properly. I guess I just wanted all of the characters alive. I was playing that stupidly, with the white mage in particular. Oh, this auto-saves. Yeah, I guess my worry would have been if it auto-saved after the battle rather than before it. Fundal. I just say everything. Yeah, backgrounds are really cool. I mean, I'm not using any mods or anything at the moment. This is just as the game comes as. I think they've done a really good job with it. Again, because like if you compare it to the NES version that just had the black screen with a little bit of a stripper background, and I guess it sort of had the enemies and the party separated, right? Oh, does it look oh, no idea. I've not done anything anyway. I guess we can do a quick save. Okay, let's go find this dude. Oh. Last time. So I'll probably again play it safe and just stick a healer in straight away. Let's go temper up this dude. Nice. I think we can chuck a potion on the black mage for now, and we'll do another heal. We can paste up our right. How hard does this compare to other FFs? This is probably. I guess it depends on how you play it, but it sort of requires quite a bit more grinding, I'd say, than your typical than other FFs. Probably not as much as I do, but yeah, I'd say this one's fairly easy. Again, the NES version might be a different story, because this has some quality of life features in it as oh shit, used the wrong bastard spell. Used the right spell but on the wrong character. Europa Remaster looks better than the NES, true. But yeah, again, it's not what we wanted to happen the first time. That gets us the crystal eye. So let's get out of here, and I'm gonna give this to a witch. Yeah, it looks really nice. Don't really have to over level for this one. It's for knowing what spells are nice. Yeah, I guess that's true. And yeah, I mean, I guess typically with my play style, it's not so much the grinding I like to do. I just like trying to get all of the items, if that makes sense. as and when it becomes available, which is why I tend to do most of my leveling up rather than for the experience. So grinding sort of becomes a natural offshoot of that. Yeah, I guess in this version by no means is it. I mean, even the NES version, like if you've ever watched H.C. Bailey's playthrough, I know his playthroughs tend to bring grinding to a minimal while also being quite completionist in terms of getting all the treasure and doing everything that the game has to offer. Pistol Eye for the FF guy. Picked a red mage and he's like, oh no, that's fair enough. I think yeah, I think red mage is sorry, I sort of want to do this number game again. Yeah, I think red mage is definitely my favourite aesthetic. I love the little the hats. So. There. One bin. I reckon we could have done that a bit more efficiently than we have done, to be honest. I think it would have been possible. Awesome. And yeah, if you're not following Eckhard, he's doing some saga. Yeah, this is a mini game, so you unlock it on the ship. You've just got to do like a button combination. It's quite fun. In the original, you could earn gil for doing it, but we've sort of taken out that function in the Pixel Remaster. Red Mage is rather good in FFVPD. Yeah, I mean, Red Mage is, again, quite a good class in this as well, to be fair. I think because they can equip quite a lot of the weapons and armors, they can learn both sets of spells, white and black magic, to quite a high degree. Obviously, we can't sort of learn the best, which I guess is the only sort of downfall. Yeah, how are you finding the Saga remaster? Working on your double black belt and double black mage one. Nice, Sparky. Yeah, Sparky does a lot of speed runs of FF1. Well, he can probably tell you more about it than anybody, really. Thought this was a speed, this is the slow one. I guess we'll heal up our black mage just to make sure that we don't end up getting KO'd. very crystalline. Let's listen to a pretty funky tune. Hello. See, I like Matoya at first, but it just seems a bit mean. I can see it again. I mean, if you talk to her again, she's like, just be on your way, and says how we're not attractive. Maybe if I go as the white mage. Nope. Whatever. Don't like you anyway, Matoya. Right, but yeah, that potion will help awaken the elf prince. Can't believe they have references to FF14 and FF1, right? Me neither. 1 hour 50. Damn. I mean, I've been streaming at the moment for 3 hours, so you need to like been having an hour and 10 minutes for a cup of tea. Okay. Yeah, because Astos and the biker gang are in Strangers of Paradise as well, right? I think it's Astos the one where he's like bullshit and just starts playing Limp Bizkit. I think Strangers of Paradise was like a prequel to FF1. Oh, I just named the characters. You can call them whatever you want, really. Bullshit. That comes now. Okay, hopefully we can get to Alpine without fighting too many more battles. Oh my god. Out of multi-level magic as well. Did we get ambushed? For fuck's sake. I think we'll use our heal spell after this. Same Jack as in the Beanstalk. Okay. There we go. There used to be like a video game rental place near me called Jack and Beanstalk. It's now Subway. Yeah, if you want sandwiches from a place where I used to rent video games from. Yeah, the FF2 is quite an interesting one because it is quite story focused. Right. Dude. So close. Don't like the auto battle. I guess I could just shove on the auto battle, but I mean, to be honest, if I'm mashing X or pressing square and doing nothing makes no difference. I can see how it can be useful though. Okay, let's make our way down here. Yeah, I guess let's see the Elven King Well, I mean, Sparky makes a good point. It probably would be easier if I just press square, but hey Imp, how's it going? Welcome on in. If you're not from Blues Things, he's doing some guilty gear. How are you, dude? I didn't realise that it's getting quite late, so I'll try to wrap up as soon as possible. Yeah, if we're doing that, we get the Mystic Key. And this means backtracking. In a good way, you can get some really good items. And we get that else Undying Gratitude. So let's go do. Oops, didn't mean to exit. There we go. Yeah, nice hammer, some nice money, and some buns gloves as well. Yeah. Sweet. Let's get out of here. Sorry, just had to clear my throat. Okay, so our first step, we'll go back to the Western Keep and then we'll make our way to a Marsh Cave. I think, again, whilst we're here, we might as well stock up on some antidotes. Maybe get 12 potions. Go for 4 antidotes. I guess now's as good as time as I need to get some ethers as well. Sweet. Oh yeah, the grave. I guess I can show that off. I did show it off before, but yeah. Here lies Link. In the original, it did say here lies Erdrick, which as Cumber pointed out, that's the main character from Dragon Quest. Closest this has to a fast. Yes. Sort of does, right? I mean, I guess it's a nice reference. Yeah, I was talking to Arm a bit on Twitter about Dragon Quest, and I think that is definitely a series that I would like to dive into at some point. To be an Easter egg. No, I like it. I like it. Kill the jabs in the king too. This is what the plot of the game is. Gonna get Arco's jab over Princess Sarah and Garland. Nice. I often think, because you recall the bats in the first place that we met, and anybody who's played the game will know what the bats are. I was wondering whether these bats are equally the same. think one dire should be enough. Strongest of spells. Monsters. Yeah, so I think all of these are weak to our good friend Dire and Diara. I think I don't know whether these enemies respawn each time. There we go, get a nice weapon for the thief. Yeah, how's everybody's weekend been? Any of you been up to much? Chilling, thrilling, spilling, getting some killing, and some steel gloves. Okay, awesome. I wonder whether... I might as well pop in with his steel gloves on. Okay, so. Yeah, let's get out of here. Drilling. Doing some Persona... Oh, nice, are you enjoying Persona 5 Royal as well? Yeah, Jasmine's saying that he's been diving into that too. Working and watching sport, nice. So a movie Smile didn't make me smile. Oh, I've not heard of Smile. What kind of movie is it? Is it a comedy? The worst comedy I've ever seen was, it's called What Just Happened, and it's quite apt because I think all that happens in it is Bruce Willis shaved off half his beard. Can't even remember much else from it, to be honest. Yeah, it made me laugh because there's like a poster on a telephone box that we walked past as we was going up to college, and it said, "What just happened? Best comedy in years." And like, really? Gesturing makes me smile. Not. Oh. Oh, hopefully the movie wasn't that bad. Okay, we're chucking a sneaky save before diving in. Now, as you might recall, there were 4 rooms that we couldn't access at the bottom because we didn't have a mystic key. Now that we've got the mystic key, we're all good to go. Oh, actually, I think we got a power staff, didn't we, that we can give to our buddy the mage. Assume whether making sure we've not got anything else. Same for you. Yep. Awesome. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm happy Skyshen did stream. Again, I'm a bit gutted that I ended up missing it. Might have been while I was playing football. But yeah, I'll have to pop a message after. No, it's good to see. I just hadn't seen him about for a while, so yeah, it's nice to see him. Wayne's World party time, excellent party on Gap. I've not actually seen Wayne's World. I'm sorry, I feel like that's one of those movies that absolutely should have seen by now. Along with lots of other movies, to be fair. I'm a cultural swine. Is it here? This guy can just use a potion on himself. It's not waned in popularity. Not waned. Okay. Very good. Sequel surprisingly good. Okay. I'll say definitely check it out. Probably won't. Not for a few years, but it will be on the list. Yeah, that's actually the one thing I do know about Ways World is it has this Sonic 1 beta footage with the UFOs in Marble Zone. To be honest, when someone tells me to watch something, I won't, even if yeah, it's not that I don't want to watch it, it's just probably just won't bother. I guess like it's something that I say I will, but then I'm like, well, where do I buy it? Do I want to spend the money? And hey Cyber, how's it going? How's Gears of War been? Hope you're doing well today, Cyber. You're just doing some Final Fantasy, playing the original at the moment. Oh, the pixel remaster of the original. Oh yeah, it's almost on an end one. You don't have to speak to this dude. I feel like it's good for the Garland experience, huh? Just on a smoke break. Oh, are you? I was gonna say, are you working, but doing some Fortnite? Nice. Hope you guys win, and yeah, give back. I think I meant to use Fundara. Give my regards to Bear and shit. Ugh. Macca as well. Nice. Okay, that is pretty close. Again, just due to me being an idiot. Monsters. Boy, howdy, cooking. I feel like I've not actually watched the room myself, but I feel like that's one where I've seen so much of. Oh, actually, I think I give him the leather armor again. I think I'll give him the silver armor because he tends to get beat up the most. And welcome back, Alexa. How's it going? I've not bullied anybody this stream, Alexa. I think you'd be proud to know. very proud to know. Birdemic and Maroon double bill. Yeah, I've not watched Maroon, but I've seen so many clips of it on YouTube that I pretty much have. Let's not take these guys for granted. He's going to go for Dara. And I've already preempted a heal. So these guys are pretty hard hitting. So a room on Motum's channel. Fair enough. I think Birdemic was based on a Hitchcock movie because the birds are really good, right? Birdemic didn't quite live up to the birds. Although I watched the birds and I thought that's just as shit looking as Birdemic, but I guess for the time it is probably really well done, right? Go to ascend one. I'm sorry if there's any massive Hitchcock fans in chat. As I say, I'm sure for the time it is. Oh, actually, what am I doing? I'm sure for the time it's a cracking movie. But, yep. I watched it and it's like, oh, at least with Birdemic, I can laugh at it being shit. Probably. I really enjoyed Psycho. That was one movie that I thought held up really well. Preemptively cure yourself. Hopefully Blizzara will work on these guys. Here window rules, masterclass intention. Birdemic is one of those uncinematic. Didn't Birdemic have Yoko Ono in it? Not like an epic cinematic shot of Yoko Ono. Or did she have an involvement in funding it actually? Rather than actually be in it. That's for some kill. Awesome, so now we can make our way out of here. I guess we could use one of those ethers, but and they're quite expensive, so yeah, this will sort of be the last bit of dungeon crawling type thing that we do once we do it. Although we've got a few battles left, it's largely gonna be dungeon free. Actually, I haven't said that, we are going to revisit the Chaos Shrine, but aside from the Chaos Shrine, and even the Chaos Shrine will sort of be in and out, you need to see Birdemic. Go to Trafalgar Square, run in with some bread, and that's pretty much IRL Birdemic. That's what I'd suggest at least. Hey Jabbit, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. You've been telling people to watch it even though you haven't seen it yourself. That's actually why I shout out Jason Like, you should watch Jasmine, even though I've never seen him. Never even heard of him. Okay, that's a lie. Yeah, I was saying actually, I don't know why, but for some reason, my dad does know of Jasmine. And when I last saw him, my dad's like, they were like my brother was chatting, saying, "Oh yeah, he doesn't have any friends." And then my dad's like, "Oh, he's got Jasmine." It's like, yeah, I've got Jasmine. Jasmine is celeb. What is a Jasmine? Those are questions that I feel like. Bloody green slimes, man. So is a damp mop. I don't know. The stream is actually brought to you by a damp mop. Yeah, problem with these green slimes is they're quite got quite high defense. Obviously, like spells are strong against them, but can be a bit of a pain to deal with. Remember watching a review on Birdemic and seeing this scene where we try and fight with god awful CTI? Yeah. I feel like Birdemic is one of those movies that's probably better when you're watching it with a friend, or with friends, so it can laugh at it. I had this movie that I bought from CEX. It's called Crazy Guy with Super Kung Fu, and it's pretty funny. I bought it because of the amount of typos that were on the back of the case. And yeah, it's just about this. Well, he wasn't particularly crazy, but I guess he had super kung fu. But yeah, I watched like the first half hour with some friends, and I think we ended up falling asleep. I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty funny, because just laughing at all the shit in it. And then I went and watched it when I was at home. I was like, not really getting the same vibe off it, right? Like, who else is there to laugh at me watching this guy do a backflip on the green screen? Nobody. Might be worse than the boom. Oh man, the boom is quality. Tommy does his own sex. Oh man, his ass, man. That's. If that ass appeared in Boyfriend Dungeon, I'll be like, get me a fucking refund. Not even a refund. Get to court and give me emotional. Give me compensation for you know, harm and distress. It's an ass, that's for sure. Emotional damage, exactly. I mean, fair play for Tommy for putting his ass on shot and full of the camera person. It's not something that you want to see. Well, not something I want to see. I don't know, maybe Tommy fucks his own ass. Wow. Imagine what it's like IRL. Well, not a lot of men can find the belly button, I'll have you know. Allegedly. knock it till you've tried it. I don't know, I think belly button might be too big for me cooking. For special effects. Okay, let's go rest up. I guess we're wasting 100 gil, but we could rest for cheap. What are we gonna do about it? So we've got a couple more places that we need to visit. Let's get our mapperoo up. Oh, this doesn't tell us where the ports are. I want to go to Corneria, so I guess there's one directly north. Luckily we've got our, no, not fleet. There we go. For our black mage to get removed. You have a DVD of a room in one hand and Final Fantasy of Spirits in. Is this like Shag Mammy Avoid? Can you give me another movie, Jasmine, as well? Let's say Birdemic. So I'd marry Spirits Within, I'd shag the room, and I'd avoid Birdemic. Oh no, oh yes. Oh no. I open my window. I close my eyes. Go back the curtains. Aww. So now that we've got the key, we can get the treasure from this room. Although, do I want to leave this to last? Yeah, we'll go to the Chaos Shrine first. I'll explain why in a second. Melt them into one DVD and see if it... You know what? I used to sometimes put like multiple CD... I guess it's pretty bad, but put multiple CDs into my PS1 to see what played. And it'd just be the bottom CD. But as a kid, I didn't understand how it worked, right? So... yeah. I thought it was magic. So hand-commanded way to... I don't think it is. How many DVD players did you go? I actually never had a DVD player. I always used my PS2 for DVDs. Although some PS1 games you could put in the CD player and listen to the soundtracks. Go to Dreamcast. So Werebuster, in the original version, this deals more damage to werewolf enemies. Well, beasts, I guess. But in the original version, it did, like, the attack and stuff was all good, but the actual special effect of doing more damage against beasts was busted. So it didn't do any additional damage against beasts. Dreamcast. I close my disc tray. Ah, boot up Shamu. Ah, to see if it's true. Oh, if I can find a black car. Ah. Hey, stand by. How's it going? Yeah, if you're not on standby, I was playing Fire Emblem, Three Hopes. Aww. Sorry, let's have a sing song. The Moonblade equally. This does more damage against magical spellcasters, but again, in the NES version, it's busted. And not like the bad astral weapon busted. Uncle. Knowing me, knowing you. You talk about the musical of FF. There's actually a really cool video. I'll play it at the end. It's Vental Floss, and he does like a version of the mages to a tune of Final Fantasy. It's really good. Thank you for enjoying the music out. Practice all day. Aww. Okay, so yeah, we can get those 2 items from Chaos Shrine. Oh, those 3 items, I should say. We can go all the way back to Cornelia Castle, and we actually do need the items from the Cornelia chest. These other items have just been extras. Yeah, it's so good. I really dig it. Need to throw spoons? As long as it's soft spoons. Preferably no spoon. Hello. Time has come to use a key to open the doors. Okay, thank you. Here we get a cottage, a saber, and a mithril knife. Now the cottage you actually use to keep the power staff on. You actually they're like tents, apart from in this game tents just heal a bit of the HP and MP. Cottages heal all of the HP and MP. You can also get shelters that just work like tents, except they just do HP. Here we get the Nitro Powder. Cottaging is cottaging. I'm not cottaging. Throw spoons with endearment. Saving can throw a whole web of spoons. Can you throw? I forgot what guy who's in charge of it's called. I guess we didn't get. I guess we could give him a copper armlet then. I'm just checking and I've got everybody equipped. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Sweet. Let's get out of here. So with the nitro armor, with the nitro powder, we can check on the dwarves and they can open up a canal for us. No, I didn't mean to be a nerd. Yeah. It was an accidental nerd shit. I'm gonna snip. I guess we could sniff it, but not today. We're gonna give it to a dwarf, and he can do what he wants with it. Magic. And use your Undara. I know that's quite petty, but I sort of wanted to have the shit docked properly. Okay, nice. So the good thing about a black mage getting removed in first is that you don't have to hassle about with any of these guys. Get their turn in, and I've gone the wrong way. So I guess this is where I'm sort of grateful that I don't have fast forward, because I'd totally be fast forwarding right now. And sometimes it's nice just to take in me wag wolves, taking me air. Yeah, I actually meant to go south down here. Yeah. Are there more characters that can? No, you set your characters right at the start, Penny. And once you've set them, this is the party. And again, sort of like Dragon Quest, the characters are pretty much blank slates. They don't really have any personality behind them. But so that's sort of the interesting thing with Strangers of Paradise, how it sort of, yeah. So if you get adamantite, you can get the strongest sword. So we want to keep an eye out for that. So yeah, that's sort of what's interesting about Strangers of Paradise, how it sort of gives a bit of background into everybody. Valley Ho, Lovely Stone, Great Swings Plug. I'll keep an eye out for that as well. Oh yeah, man, that Distant Worlds footage where we're just walking in a circle. Didn't actually mean to talk to him. Nitro Powder. Okay. So I owe you bands. Yeah, this is Neric, and use the powder and blow us up. Yeah, as I say, I think FF2 really develops the characters more so than FF1 and FF3. But yeah, it's sort of like FF2 is quite story focused. I mean, this has story to it, but it's fairly basic. Go from one place to another. I mean, I think even so, I mean, particular towards the end, is quite some interesting developments. I don't completely get, but okay, let's go grab some items from here. I guess I'll do another equipment run through after. Yeah, worm killer. Great helm. Oh, we're all right for that. Yeah, I don't think we've got anything else. Nice. Okay, let's make a way out of here then. So the next place where we want to go is Melmond. We'll have a bit of an explore of Melmond, but it would call it a stream shortly after. This This tune has been remixed in Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if it's in any other game. Yeah, Matoya's theme. It's been used on quite a few fan remixes as well. Yeah, Moogles were so Final Fantasy 1 it is unique in that it doesn't have chocobos. They get introduced in FF2. It doesn't have Moogles. They get introduced in Final Fantasy 3, sorry. And it doesn't have Sid. Sid also gets introduced in FF2. But the Pixel Remaster and subsequent re-releases of FF1 does mention Sid in passing. That's sort of a bit of dialogue that is added in, which wasn't in the original NES version. So Sid does get mentioned, and the same Sid who is mentioned in these ports and remasters and remakes also appears in Dissidia, Final Fantasy. So yeah, I point out the bit of dialogue that does mention Sid. Oh yeah, we do have dragons. Bahamut makes his appearance as a dragon, because I think Final Fantasy 1 was quite heavily inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, so a lot of the enemies are sort of from Dungeons and Dragons. And no bullshit, no bullshit. Okay, so this is our next destination, Melmond. Now it's a little bit worse for wear at the moment. I won't buy anything, but I'll show off the stores. Oh, we've got 22k. I definitely want Faraga. We can't learn teleport. I think we need to upgrade our class. I'll probably get Scourge and Slover. As well. White magic we can purchase all of. So that's Karaga, Life, and I'll probably get Healara, although Diaga could also be good. But yeah, I think those seem like a good choice. Again, I'll probably grab all the money off stream between this stream and the next. So yeah, the vampire is what's attacked, and we need to restore a crystal to bring the earth back to where we want it to be. So I'll probably get a longsword for our knight. Sure. It's a man named Sada. Okay. What's his my name? Okay. I feel like I'm thinking of once from FF8. I'm trying to think whether there's another Watts, but in an FF game. Hello. Giant living in the caves eat rocks. He likes gems. Again, this guy will be quite important later on. Dr. Un. What are you saying? Having a cheeky little shit in the corner. Cavern of Earth. Okay. That'll be our next destination, next stream. Yeah. Looks like we'll be fighting off a vampire. See what So yeah, this knight's armor is probably what's going to set me back quite a bit. As we get 2 silver armlets for these guys. So yeah, next stream I'll get the knight's armor and the level 5 spells for us. But I'll do that off stream. You don't have to worry about watching all that. Love some vampire action. Yeah, I think in the PSP version at least, he had like a little blur. I'm Dracula accent, but I want your blood. I don't know whether that's in the Pixel Remaster version. But yeah, cheers everybody for tuning in. Again, I know Final Fantasy 1 has been like just watching me fight a lot. It might not be the most interesting, but yeah, cheers for hanging out and bearing with me on that. And we're level 18 here. This was my original save, so it's a 1 level higher. But we did it in 3 hours 44 instead of 8 hours 29, but most of that was writing notes as well. So, yeah. Let's see if we can raid a Rooney. Yeah, you can choose which characters you want, Penny. So you can have like a choice of warrior. You can have like 4 warriors if you wanted. There's thieves, white mage, black mage. You could have. There's also red mage and monk, which I don't have. Yeah, we'll give a raid over to Mr. Infinity. He's currently doing some inscription. Yeah, currently streaming is also yeah, cheers that card. We've got Ashua. He's doing some Bloodborne. We've got Ale. He's doing some Forgotten City, and we have Sub-Zero, Smoke Vein. I've just seen was still on actually. I mean, we've started the raid, so I won't redirect it now, but yeah, he's doing some Bloodstain. Hey Kyra, just in time for the raid, but cheers for hanging out. Thanks for the link to socials as well, Vinny. And yeah, catch you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody. And yeah, for anybody who's still sticking about or watching the VOD, yeah, cheers, guys. Enjoy diving into FF1. We'll make sure to get a little bit more gil so that we can grab what we need. Tomorrow's stream will be medieval, and if you're interested in more Final Fantasy, that'll be next Sunday. Catch you later. Goodbye, everybody.